This is great. All right, we got our little band here, and we are very privileged to have a star in our midst. A star. So let's get into the ish. Welcome, it's your boy G-Net. Welcome to the Str8up Ish podcast, where we're talking life, we're talking liberty, we're talking relationships, we're talking girls, guys, cosplay, movies, all that stuff. I'm going to allow the two people who took over my podcast, who roughed me up and everything, I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves before we introduce our illustrious guests. Take it away.
What's going on, guys? Feedback Frobes in the house. Welcome to our Hollywood edition episode. Strap in. It's going to be a good one.
Oh, that's it?
Give them the handle. Where can they find you?
Oh, me?
You guys can find me
here. This guy right here, it's a daily joke. It's a daily episode joke. Where can we find you?
You can find me right here at the Str8up Ish podcast and the Str8up Ish IG page.
The cop-out begins. For your love
and of course, your boy Ronnie P. You can find me on Instagram, tsr.photos. On YouTube is TSR Reviews. And, I'm here to join these beautiful people.
Thank you.
The headphones, Ron.
So, disclaimer of the Str8up Ish podcast is a program explicit in nature. We do not attempt to coddle or take care of you or hug you or anything like that, leave you with good bubbly feelings inside. Sometimes we do, but not all the time. Some of the things we say maybe they come off a little, a little rough, a little aggressive or whatever. But hey, hence the name, Str8up. All right. We don't intend to offend, but sometimes it happens. Hopefully you learn something along the way. So that being said, we are very privileged to have a very, what's the word?
Special.
Stunning. Oh, yeah. Stunning. Spectacular.
Ooh,
representative of the film industry. We have, like I always talking about, I do this acting here and there and everything. I'm always talking about it and everything. So I'm glad I'm able to bring somebody to further elaborate on that whole thing. But anyway, we have the lovely, the talented Nicole Castoreno. Did I pronounce that right?
Yes. Well, yes. Castoreno, but Castoreno works too.
See, I wanted to make you do the R, the R sound, that thing. So I'm not really good at that. Yeah. So tell the people a little bit about yourself, like what you do and the acting stuff, and just a brief overview.
Wait.
What?
Let's give her an ovation. Let's give her a clapping hand. She came on. Let's give her some love.
I'm sorry. I'm a little discombobulated here. Hold on a second. I'm getting the hype horn real quick.
There we go.
Okay,
there we go.
There it is. I'm sorry. I'm falling off here. So give us a little overview what you're all about, Nicole.
So I'm a local actor to Atlanta. I've been here for probably years. I'm initially from the Midwest, where we don't have a lot going on in the actor world. Indiana, Chicago has a little bit of theater, but we didn't have a lot going on. The Jackson 5, they became famous and left Indiana, so they just left us there to kind of figure out how we're all supposed to get there.
Yeah.
But I have been acting pretty much my whole life. Musicals, plays, music videos. I have done some commercial work, and I just really started taking it serious again this year, the beginning of this year. It's always been my passion, but as some of us know, it's pretty difficult to be a working actor making an income that's comfortable to live off of. So I had my children that I had to raise, and you have to have money to raise children. So I definitely got into the corporate world and entrepreneurship and started making money there, and something just wasn't fulfilled in me. So 2020 was difficult for everyone, but it was also a time to reflect on what you really wanted to do. That's exactly what I did. And then not to mention I turned 40 this year, and that's another like, whoa, what am I doing with my life? I'm 40 now. So this year was about giving back to me and getting back to what makes me happy.
Okay. Well, don't worry about the 40 thing. You look sensational, as what's the name would say. You know, I only hang out with the beautiful people, if you guys haven't noticed, all right? The beautiful people, the beautiful people. Okay, so what decided, like, when did you decide you like wanted to be like, this is what I want to do, like this is what I want to be an actress?
I've always enjoyed it. I've always enjoyed pretending to be in other places. I think being in small town and cornfields, and the one thing that I love, and when I go back home, I notice at the beach or whenever you're at home and there's this vast open land and you can see really far. And I remember just being young and thinking like, gosh, there's a whole world out there. There's so much that I can't see. There's so much still out there. Sometimes in Atlanta, I know this sounds funny, but there's all these trees everywhere. I feel trapped. I can't see far. So sometimes I enjoy going to the beach or back home where I can just kind of dream again and look out into the world and think like how much we're so tiny really in this whole big universe, in this world. And so I've always dreamt of more, wanting to do more. It's not really about the fame for me. It's about the people I meet, the places I go, the adventures that I get to participate in, and then acting just as you can pretend that you're even doing more than what you're doing. So it can just take you to different places.
Oh, that's cool. Guys, you know, I know you guys have some questions because I pretty much everything she's saying I already know, but you guys are coming from more of a regular person's perspective, you know. So, what do you guys have to say?
Okay, my first question is, how do you feel like as far as acting, like traveling to go to like different locations for your acting career?
So I love travel in general. Even my corporate job has to do with travel. I'm in corporate travel. So I really enjoy traveling. Getting just back into this, I haven't traveled a whole lot. Most of my opportunities have been local. Dallas has been kind of a nice market for me as well. But I enjoy traveling. I'm really hoping to get networked.
Uh-oh. Did we lose her?
Uh-oh. I think we lost her.
Oh, no. Nicole, come back.
Oh, okay. I thought it was my computer for a second.
Yeah, you popped out for a minute.
Yeah, because my screen froze and
she's gone. She had the feedback probes connection.
Yeah, feedback probes did something to did something. Oh wait, I think she's coming back. Hold on a second.
Hey, she's back.
Yes, unmute.
Aha.
Okay,
that.
there she is. Oh, nice picture. Okay, I think she's back, folks. That's okay. Technical difficulties. It happens all the time.
Sorry, guys. I don't know what you heard, but I love traveling, and I want to travel more. With this last year, there wasn't a lot of traveling for the jobs that I did. Dallas was a nice market. New Mexico and out west is what I'm really looking forward to. There's a lot of Native American films that are being filmed out there. Montana, Oklahoma, New Mexico. And with my ethnicity, I'm Lipan Apache. I really want to represent my people on film. So that's something I'm really looking forward to.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome.
That sounds amazing.
Feedback
Yeah,
after. I know you had some questions also. I know you popped out. But
Well, I was just thinking in terms of, so, someone who has like no acting experience whatsoever, who wants to get into the industry, I mean, where would be the best place, in your opinion, to start? Would you start, say, with background acting? Would you start, volunteering for, say, local theater? In your opinion, what do you think would be the best way to kind of get started in the industry?
That's a good question. I'm partial to theater. If you're serious about being a real actor with talent and just really wanting to nurture that artistic side of you, I really think theater coaching and classes are the best place to start. I did start in theater when I was young, and I took classes. With Atlanta still kind of being a newer market, I feel like there's this trend where everybody's like, oh, I just want to be an actor, which I'm not here to shoot anybody's dreams down. But if you're serious, you really should go invest in yourself and get the coaching and the time, that's needed to put forth a good effort. Background is a way to, I think, network. It's long days. It's awful pay. Most of the time you can't even talk to the talent and they don't want you to even speak to them. It gives you a good view of what film is actually like. So sometimes it's very time consuming, and it's, repetitive, and you have to do it over and over. So
oh, not again. Not again.
Uh-oh.
We were so close.
I know, we were so close. We're gonna get this piece by piece.
So I chop and screw. We'll just chop it up.
Is she in Indiana now? I mean, the Midwest. I mean, might be a tornado there. Well, yeah, just to kind of pick up on what she was saying. Background work. It is long. It is arduous, and you do have to be in there for the long game or for the long day. Sometimes it goes overnight. You could have gotten there the morning before, like on Tomorrow War. I came in at like 9:30 a.m. We didn't leave until 3 something the next day. So you and everybody's like, ugh, and it's a lot of work walking and stuff. If you're not fairly in shape and stuff, then you're gonna have a hard time most of the time. But a lot of it is repetitive stuff, just walking back and forth or walking through here or whatever. At times you do get complicated actions, like the person says, yeah, you're gonna walk through this corridor, and then you're gonna go to this table, then make a right, and then make a left, and then you're gonna say hi to this person, and then you're gonna go to the other side, and then wait for you to come back, and then you do the same thing. Got that? And you're like, yeah.
Like, yeah, not really, but okay, let's go with it.
Once you're like in the middle of your action, the director yells, cut! That was good. And you're like, okay. And you got to remember, you're only there to provide the atmosphere. You're basically kind of like a human prop. Not that you're not important, but that's basically your purpose on the screen. Did I get that right, Nicole?
Yes, absolutely. But I think and I'm sorry, you guys, if this is my internet, what's going on, if there's something in the area. But okay. But I know what I was saying is that theater is more of a rush. Like theater is you feel more important. It's like a high, like you go out there, you have adrenaline pumping, you have to remember your lines, you have to improv, and it's if you can master theater, film and TV is simple.
I heard there's like a lot of differences between theater and film as far as like gestures and stuff. Like theater, your gestures have to be more pronounced, like because people in the back row got to be able to see you, whereas it's more subtle on screen, on film or whatever. I mean, so like I did an audition one time, and the guy's like, "You have a background in theater or something?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, when I was a kid." And he's like, "Because your movements are very
dramatic."
Yeah, very large, very dramatic. Yeah.
Yes.
And you got to kind of like tone it down.
That is true. And what looks good on theater? Yeah, what looks good on theater on TV could look as overacting for sure.
Right.
That was one of my next questions. Was like, if you've been on screen, which is better, or which is easier to go to and do? Is it theater or screen? Like being on TV or movies, which is better or easier to come into?
Did you lose her again?
I think so. We lost her.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought she was just thinking.
I know that. I was like, wow.
It does. It does. That's a perfect screenshot. Like, am I thinking? Nah.
Well, I mean, I could tell you from my theater. Like, I don't know if you remember when I was in the Beauty and the Beast playing Cogsworth as a kid. It's a lot more difficult. Like, you're live. You know, there's no first take, second take. You got to get everything done like perfectly. You know, you got to be in sync with everything. And if this person is doing an action, you can't be late with your action. You know, there's no cut, there's no stop to play and do over. It's like you got to be on point. And if you're not on point, you got to have the improv skills to pick up and patch up the problem and just keep going.
All right.
Oh,
Nicole, you back?
I'm trying. You know what? I'm gonna try my computer. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. So I'm so sorry, guys.
You're okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey,
I do.
In this show, we got all types of technical difficulties.
Okay, let's try this. Let me mute.
Okay, so she's muted. She's connecting to audio.
Maybe this will be better. Oh no!
There's two of them. Oh! All right, we got our second guest, Nicole's twin sister.
Sorry.
So we that's okay. So what was your question again, Ron?
Oh, I was asking what would be I guess better or easier to do? Is it screen or is it theater, or or which one do you prefer?
So I think it's easier to do TV and film, as far as you don't have to remember everything in a block. You can, there's cuts. You can grab your sides when you have a minute to look at those. I'm still hearing feedback.
That's froze.
All right.
He's feedback froze.
Feedback froze.
Is she back?
Oh wait, no, I think we lost her again.
See,
Can't get away from feedback.
The power of your feedback is now affecting other people.
The feedback is contagious.
The feedback is contagious, and
that's it. I need a feedback froze shirt. Like, we got to get this going.
Yeah. Definitely something, like some headphones and some I'm thinking like the wavelength.
We have a design. I think.
I don't know. Whenever
he's gonna pop out and pop back in.
Whenever we have technological issues, I need to put on a hat or a T-shirt or something.
But yeah, just I think I had an idea of what she was trying to say. Like, basically, you have a script and stuff, and it's the difference is you could go over sides when you're on film. Like when we're on film, when the cameras aren't rolling, you have these little booklets. I think I have one here. See, I don't want to get an NDA.
Yeah, I want you. Yeah. I don't want you to get in trouble.
Away.
Don't get in trouble.
But these things are called sides, and they're little pamphlets like this, and they have little mini versions of the script, you know.
Nice.
So you could like read that in between takes and stuff, and then just go over it, and then do several rehearsals, and then boom, when you're ready, you just start. You just do you just say the words, and then you do the action and everything.
Got it. Hi, Nicole. You're
I can
back.
see the frustration in her face.
Keep it professional. You got this.
Keep professional.
Oh, we lost her again.
It's the froze. It's the froze
I know.
impact.
Sorry, guys. It's feedback.
I know.
It's the
Keep your sorcery away from our guests. Oh.
So G, what do you think? What's like the hardest thing? What's one of our artists? I mean, actors' biggest difficulties? I'll say on set, or just like, what's the biggest things that go through when you're trying to be like an actor, and like the travel, the people, like what's the biggest thing?
Well, you're hitting a lot of different subjects, but anyway.
Okay.
As far as like the traveling, like sometimes, I mean, as far as Atlanta, I had to like drive almost an hour out for like every set, which, you know, depending on the time, because Atlanta traffic is horrible. Depending on the time, like I get there at a decent hour and stuff, and usually like a morning call time if it's not an overnight type of deal. But if it's like an early morning, like my earliest call time was, no lies, like 3 a.m. in the morning. But that was for a background role. But for like, let's say a commercial role, my call time was around 5. So you have to allow time for that. But yeah, as far as traveling, like it's weird. You have to like travel to a spot where sometimes you travel to a spot where they're having you, you know, park, and they have like something called base camp. And base camp is where the check-in and a lot of the equipment and all the industrial tools and everything that goes into the whole technical part of the filmmaking is kept there. Sometimes holding is kept there. And sometimes you go from there, and you get on a shuttle, and you're driven to another holding or a set, which has holding and holding.
Yeah, and then you're stuck there.
Yeah, and you're stuck there. And holding is basically where you're kept until they need you on the actual set, where you just sit around and stuff. A lot of sitting. Even as a backgrounder, as a regular actor, it's a whole lot of sitting around and waiting, you know. Maybe waiting for them to get set, waiting for them to get a scene visualized, or to change where the direction of the camera is going to go, the lighting, all that stuff. And if you notice, if you're ever on set, you see a whole bunch of people. That's the crew, basically. The crew's running around. They're, doing all little tools. They're like little Oompa Loompas. You know, everyone has their little job. Some person's job is the audio. Some person's job is the construction of the set. Some people are in charge of the lights. Another person's in charge of, I don't know, just wiping the sweat off the director's forehead or something. But you have makeup people, you have wardrobe running on and off the set and everything. It's a whole big to do, because but when you arrive on set as an actor, you have to allow time to be checked in, to allow time to get set up with wardrobe, set up with makeup, set up with hair, get your lines, get all that ready, and then so on your call time is basically when you're expected to be ready to go on set. Got ideas for the show? Got questions for us? Or maybe you want to tell us we suck? Hit us up at straight-up-ish-talk@gmail.com.
I think the hardest thing is when you're dealing with people, when you have actors that did not remember their lines and they're constantly having to redo the scene. When you have men that didn't get there a little earlier to check the lighting. It's just frustrating, because especially when you have a family and you have other you have other responsibilities to really not that you always have to knock it out in one take, but you want to be the best prepared to where it takes fewer takes to get the shot that they're looking for. And I've worked with some amazing people in Atlanta that knew exactly what they were doing, but it is still a market. A lot of people are learning, growing, trying to be, and sometimes that can be frustrating.
Yeah. And it's tough. Yeah. People has to be like, everybody has to have, it's a very fast paced sort of deal. And, if people seem kind of rude, it's not really the fact they're going out of the way to be rude. Some people are, but it's such a fast paced type of environment that people don't have time to stop and see, hey, okay. Like they have to keep moving because, the production's on a set schedule, and they have to move fast. They have to get things going. So that's basically what you have to get used to. I think maybe that's the hardest thing. I don't know. It's getting used to the fast paced environment.
It's like a rat race in there, huh?
Yeah, in a way. Like that's the first thing I noticed. Like everyone's like kind of running around and stuff, all frantic and everything. And especially the PA, which is the hardest job, and I would never ever take it myself. But you're basically in charge of like making sure the actors or background actors or whoever, everything on set is going smoothly. Because I've seen directors, ADs or whatever, just jump all over the PA and be like, why isn't this done? This person's supposed to be here. Blah, 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 blah. Not the job I want, because you're getting it from both ends. You're getting both from the AD, from production, and you're getting it from the actors who some may not be as cooperative because of the long hours or the environment or whatever. You have to make sure that they're accommodated as far as like conditions, bathroom access, food, whether or not someone's sick, whether someone's tired, whether someone has to abruptly leave. It's a whole bunch of different stuff that they have to consider. So PA is not something I would want to do. I've just seen it done, but it's definitely one of the toughest jobs on set.
I'm always so amazed at like the amount of people it takes just for a production. I mean, as someone, not in the industry, you go to say the movie theater, you just see a movie and like, oh, okay, great movie. But you never think about how much really went into it. You have your makeup people, you have the actors, you have like people for this, for that. It's just like amazing, like how many people like go into making just like one movie. It's just something I've always been amazed at.
Yeah, one scene can take, to shoot it properly and to get all the angles and what makes it beautiful on the big screen, it takes, one scene can take anywhere from like 8 to 12 to 16 hours a day to shoot. You have to make sure you're getting it from each different angle, and when you do that, you have to make sure your hair is in the place it was in the last time you shot it. Your left leg was crossed over your right leg like it was in the last time you have to make sure everything is in place.
Continuity.
And it's funny because once you go through that process, now when I watch movies, I can see if like the cameraman's freestyling, like holding it, because I can see the camera moving, or I can see like, wait a minute, she didn't have that earring on the last scene, when it just cut back to the last tape. There's just so many small details that have to be right. And sometimes you don't always get them right.
Yeah, like I think it's amazing whenever I see a cameraman just kind of backing up. He has like a whole big harness on that has that 80-pound camera just running around, and there's a guy kind of guiding him as he backs up, around an actor or actress or whatever doing the scene. And it's just like a lot of the stuff you see on TV, you kind of take for granted if you don't know the time and effort that goes into making that scene, and the panning and zooming in and out and stuff. But it gets kind of hard once you've been on set, that it gets kind of hard not to overanalyze a movie, be like, oh yeah, so they definitely did this or that, whatever. You can't I'm just like, enjoy the movie. You know.
Yeah, it sounds crazy. I would love to be on a scene one day just to see how it actually is. Nicole, while we still got you, how do you feel about your voice roles? Like, is that hard to do, or
Voiceovers or just speaking roles, period?
I go with both.
So I personally have not done any voiceover work yet. I think that would be really fun. I think that's a whole nother training. Again, people think this is so easy and like, oh yeah, I just get on the mic and speak. But when you're just doing voice roles, I imagine your tone and inflection and the way you accent certain words is so important, because that's all they're getting from you. They have to literally feel and see your acting through your voice alone. So I can't imagine how hard that is. I hope to maybe one day get maybe one of those animated cartoons or something to be able to do a voiceover role. As far as speaking roles, I'm so happy to have graduated from background and the little things to speaking roles. But it's a lot of work. To do it right, you have to do like a character breakdown and analysis and really try to figure out who this character is, even outside of the pages and the text. You have to kind of put together a background of, you have to get an idea of where they were and what their life was even before this story that you're telling. You have to remember the lines. Sometimes you don't agree with the lines written and you're like, I just would never say this. Like, this doesn't even come out naturally to me. And sometimes the director and the producers are open to those changes. And sometimes they're like, too bad. Like, that's the way we wrote it. That's the way we want it. So and the other thing is learning who you're working with. Like any business or relationship, you have people that are easy to work with. You have people that are not so easy to work with. But if you want to stay in this business and you do not want to ruin your reputation, you have to learn to work with all of those people. But I'm so happy to be having speaking roles. I've been very honored to have the leading role in a movie called Shadows this year. Another very young director. Yeah. Tamika Schultz is the one that wrote and produced that, and very young woman that is doing big things. And I hope to keep following her and seeing how her work progresses. I've been in a few commercials this year. I am in the process of signing with an agent right now, so working on that. And yeah, so lots of good stuff happening this year, and there's a lot of opportunity. And I think it's also important that you learn who you are and how you want to be represented and what you want to portray, and stick with that. You don't not every role is for everyone. I think you really have to know yourself and what you're able, willing to do, and you put that brand out, because this is a business. You are a brand, and you have to make sure that you stay true to that.
That's cool.
I love that. That was inspirational right there.
Well, I want to ask, and this, how do you cope with, like, because people think, like, when you become an actor, that means, automatic riches. I'm like, doing all this stuff. Like, how do you cope with, like, the mental and financial challenges of becoming a working actress?
So that's one of the reasons that I put this on hold for so long. As I mentioned, I have 2 children. One's in college and one is in middle school. And it wasn't, I was not going to put them through being a starving actor for all those years. So I had to find ways to make an income. Now, if I would have done it again, I would have chosen to work within the industry, if that was an option, somehow still to connect and work and network. I didn't. I did something completely different, but my path still led me back here. And you have to be in a flexible place to do this. You have to have a job that's flexible. You have to have the time, and it's important to be able to take care of your finances and your responsibilities, or else that's what's always on your mind. If you're on a set and you're thinking about how am I going to pay the rent, or how am I going to fill up this gas tank to get home after I've been on set all day, your mind's not in the right place. So I'm not saying you have to be rich or financially sound, but you have to find ways to make it all work. You have to find flexibility. Maybe Uber driving is the way to go, because you can turn it off and on whenever you want. You just have to find what works for you, so that when you do show up, you can fully show up.
Good answer. And how do you so when you're like, when we become stuck, like kind of like nothing's been happening, like with me, like nothing's happened since beginning of this year. So when you're stuck or kind of lost motivation or whatever, how do you cope with that? Because I know every actor deals with that at some point.
Yeah, every actor, and I think every human deals with that, no matter what the job is, no matter maybe a relationship, what point of time you're in. Sometimes you feel like you're stagnant or you're in a lull. And I am probably seriously my hardest critic. Like, if there's 2 days that go by and I haven't jumped on and submitted myself for anything, or I missed the submission deadline for an audition, I'm like, dang it, but you have to be kind on yourself. You have to know that there are more opportunities. You have to, like I said, you still have to take care of your responsibilities. And tell me the question again. I think I kind of lost track.
It's like when you get stuck or lost motivation, how do you cope with that?
Yes. And so that's the thing, like there's always going to be something else coming down the road. There's always doors opening in our life. There's doors shutting and closing and opening all the time. And I think you take that time when they're shut to prepare for when they open. So whether that is taking some trainings, taking some time off, maybe you just need rest, yoga, meditate, pray, work out, whatever works for you. I think when you do have that downtime, you take care of yourself instead of being hard on yourself to prepare for when those opportunities come.
Okay. It's shared. Well, Nicole, I found some footage of your work and stuff. Is it okay we share that real quick? Or
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
I want to share. It's share the screen time. Let's see. I'll get that going. Optimize for video clip. Optimize. Let's share that screen. Okay. Let me know. Well, it's a black screen. What the heck? There it is. Let me know when you guys see it. You see it?
Nope. It's still loading on mine.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. Can you hear it?
Can I have a minute of your time? We do not continue to fight for what our ancestors fought for. Our children will be left with nothing that belongs to them.
Hard to get where I am. You've never worked for shit.
Oh.
I didn't want to do that, but you gave me no choice.
I'm going to need you to write a full statement then.
No, listen. I told you that I would bring you here and give you the details. I'm not signing my name to a piece of paper.
Nothing happened, I know from her. Wipe that smart-ass smirk off your face before I do it for you. You know what to do.
I believe you have some information that can help me on a really important case I'm working on.
Mi venganza será fuerte y bonita. Y empieza hoy.
Yes, sir. I like that.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. It's still hard to watch yourself. It's so weird.
Yeah, it was like when we went to that premiere and I saw myself for the first time on a movie screen, I was like, oh, wow, that's weird. Because we were like,
okay.
A theater.
So funny.
Huh?
So funny story. I saw you there, right? And I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, Tamika, you got to meet this guy. He's a fellow actor. I worked with him on another project, not knowing he was on the film because I came in late to this project. So they had filmed all of Shadows. For whatever reason, they decided to replace the role that I came in to play. I don't know. I don't know the whole story, but they decided to replace that role. So I had to come in, learn my lines quickly, and refilm any scenes with my character in there. So I had not seen I had not seen anything except only the parts that I was in before I went to that premiere. So I didn't even realize he was in the movie, and I felt like a dummy.
No, I mean, no, it's like the whole from what I understand, the production was kind of like little inside dealings going on, like went awry or something, and I think they had to like reshoot a lot of things. But when I was called on, and I didn't, she said there was no need for me to audition, and I was like, okay, I still had lines, but the person who originally played my partner had to drop out, so they got a new person for that. And I remember the day that I came there, I was like, where is everybody? And everybody was filming and stuff. And I happened to see, what was her name? Emily or something? I forgot her name. But she was sitting there. I didn't know who she was. So I was calling frantically, where's Tamika? Where are you? Where are you? But yeah, there was a different person playing the mother that day. And I remember we shot our scene real quick, and it was kind of hard because we were fighting daylight, and there were cars coming through. It was in a public park, so we had to like stop cars and stuff. Like, stop! We're filming here. It's supposed to be an abandoned road. So I was over. I'm like doing my scene real quick. I'm like, okay, I can't mess this line up. There were plenty of bloopers. I'm surprised she didn't. Oh, she did show one blooper afterwards, but I just did my line and stuff, and I was like, you know what? Let me make sure out of everything that's going on, let me make sure I don't screw up. And but I told Tamika, I'm like, I'm really proud that like, at a young age that you're starting this whole big production. I mean, not many people start from the time how old you are. They usually start a lot later in life that they decide to become a producer or whatever. So I give her big props. But when I saw your picture on the poster, I was like, huh. That lady looks familiar because we worked together on a Kickstarter for this short film that I don't know what happened to it, but I had to have a British accent in that one. But yeah, we met on that one, and then I saw your face on this poster. I'm like, wow, see, this girl's everywhere, you know? So had a rather creepy poster up, like she's like made to look kind of, I don't know, horrifying, like Conjuring type of makeup, but yeah, I can still make out who it was. But yeah, but everybody filmed at different times, so there were so many different actors and actresses in that movie, so it's not that big of a thing that you didn't know I was in the movie, you know.
Well, I felt bad, but hey, at least I was still trying to plug you.
No, I appreciate that. Absolutely. So I have a personal question. Are you host this show that you guys like travel around and drink wine and stuff? Is it like a HDTV or Travel Channel type of deal, or what's that about? That looked interesting.
Let me be careful of how I respond to this.
Was that NDAs? I don't want you to violate any NDA.
No. I'm no longer a part of that project.
Oh, okay.
As I mentioned earlier, this is still a up and coming market.
Okay.
I think that people are so here's something. I think that we in Atlanta, unless the projects are coming from Hollywood and they're backed by Hollywood producers and casting agents and financials, I think people are struggling here to find financial help, investments for projects here. Okay. And I don't think that this market has totally understood the benefit that they can get in investing in film, especially if it's a TV program and there's commercials built around that. So I think there's still a lot of education because, you know, out West, big corporations and companies will pay for their brand to show up in a movie, right? So like if somebody pops open a Coca-Cola and they drink a Coca-Cola in the movie, Coke will pay you to have that happen. And that's a way to get your movie funded. Then there's just private investors. So I think this market needs a lot of work on that. So to keep this correct, I'm no longer there because we couldn't make the financials work out.
I got you. Because that did sound like a great concept, you know, just go around drinking wine. Because I love
I
me.
love the concept. Yeah, I love it. I'm hoping to recreate that or have it picked up somewhere else, but wish them well, but no, it didn't work out.
I love me some wine. I love to be able to just travel around and taste different wines. Like, I'm not a connoisseur, but I know what I like, that sort of deal.
What do you like? What do you like? What do you like to drink?
I like my reds, man. Heavy reds. Like, I don't touch the white wines and stuff. I mean, that's good for some people, but I like the reds, the Zinfandels, the
Yellowtail Shiraz.
No, that's like that's like no, that's if I'm being very cheap and just don't care what I put in my body at the moment. No. I mean, I'm talking like I like 7 Deadly Zins. I like what's it called? Freak Show. This, I think, is a Petite Syrah. I like Apothic. Even though it's like, I mean, I'm leaning more towards the cheaply priced wines and stuff, but the Apothic Dark, like the Apothic Dark is so red.
Apothic is not bad.
Yeah, it's very good. The Apothic Dark is so red. It's such a dark red. It's this color in the glass. It's black. It's like you're drinking like tar or something, but it's so strong. You also have
I like a Malbec or a Cab.
Malbec. Yeah, but they say the healthiest is a Pinot Noir. That's the healthiest red you could drink. That's what I'm told.
It's smoother, and I guess it doesn't have as many. Well, the things you have to look out for are sulfates, if that bothers you, and you also have to look out for the sugar content in wine. Too much sugar gives me a headache, so you want a more purified wine, and typically you do get that, and that's why you pay the higher price sometimes, is because that's what you're getting.
My dad put me on some wine. Actually, we used to go to tastings almost weekly, sometimes twice a week and stuff, and those tastings turn into drinkings. There's like a lot of taste testing, and you have to spit it out and stuff. Just when you taste it, I'm like, no, man, this is good stuff.
Put in there.
Ingested in my body. Yeah. But so I know you guys are like holding back. I know you guys have questions. Come on, guys.
No, I'm for her. Let.
Well, I was wondering, what, like, who your idol was growing up, or who your favorite actor would be now.
Okay, that's a good one. So Rita Moreno is a Puerto Rican actress. She's older now. She's amazing. She played Anita in West Side Story, and Anita was one of the roles that I landed in a musical when I was in high school. That role in her just really shaped my life. That was the perfect role for me. I've continued to play those strong woman roles, leading and supporting roles. And then just Rita Moreno and her story. She has a documentary coming out. Well, it's out on Netflix now. A girl, oh gosh, I just posted about it. But she tells the story of, here it is, Rita Moreno, just a girl who decided to go for it. And she tells the story of like how Hollywood and the film industry really tried to put Latina actors in a box. Like, it was like, oh, you're submissive, and they just didn't have a lot of substance to them, right? So it was like just this box that you played it. And the other crazy part is they would take her, who is Puerto Rican, and they would make her Hawaiian. They would make her Native American. And it's funny because even though we're progressing and getting better at that, there are still roles that drive me insane. So, because some people will say, well, it's acting. Can't you act like that? I don't know how you act like another ethnicity. I don't think that I could come out and act like I'm Michelle Obama and it be believable. I can act like a doctor. I can act like a mother. I can act like a drug lord or something, but I can't act like another ethnicity. So that really drives me crazy. And one of the shows that I'm watching right now is called Yellowstone. And I was like, who is this leading girl in it? And so I looked her up and I'm like, she's not even Native American. She's Chinese and white and she's cute and she's a great actress. But why would you not go get a real Native American for this role? That's playing a Native American that lives on a reservation and all this stuff. So that stuff drives me absolutely crazy. But Rita Moreno, and love. I mean, I have my guys, right? Like Robert De Niro and Denzel Washington. Like they're just freaking amazing. I really like Selma Hayek. I really like Selma Hayek, not just because she's Latina. You know, we always look for somebody though that we can kind of relate to, right? But with Selma, she's also she's an activist. She talks out. Rita Moreno does too. I love it when they're not just an actress, right? Like when you have a platform and you have a voice, some people think that, oh, you should just do that. No, you shouldn't. You should use that power. You should talk about what's important, bring awareness to things. Selma Hayek does a lot of that. And she also shows that it's okay to be 50 and sexy. Like you can still be 50 and sexy, and not just the way you look also, right? But the way, like, she just had a movie out, The Hitman's Wife Bodyguard. I don't know if you've seen it. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, great movie.
Very good. Very good.
Like she's 50 and action. She's doing action. She's funny too, and it talks about her going through menopause. So it's not trying to hide like things that women go through. It's trying to highlight it, make it funny, bring light and awareness around it. So those are definitely some of my. And I love Julia Roberts. George's Own. There are just certain actors and actresses that no matter what they're in, you can actually lose sight of like, oh, that's who they are. And you really think of them as that character. And when they do that, that is amazing acting. Like, it's just amazing.
Great. So one more quick question, because I know you got to go, but do you think you've made it? And if not, what would have to happen for you to say that you've made it?
I probably won't ever say that I've made it. I'm always evolving. I'm always challenging. I'm always stretching myself. I did read Michelle Obama's book, Becoming. It is such a wonderful book because you're always evolving. You're always trying to be the good mother, the good partner, the good friend, the good corporate manager, the good actress. Like, you're always trying to become something. So I don't know about making it. I don't know what level would make me feel like I'm making it. But I'm enjoying it. And as long as I enjoy it, I'm going to continue to push forward to keep enjoying it.
Yeah. All right. Well, this has been great. Thank you, Nicole, for coming on to our program, giving us some of your time, a little of your insight. Where can people find you? I mean, where are you located, social media wise, not your home?
Instagram, Nicole M, as in Marie, Nicole M Castoreno. I think I have a Facebook too, Nicole M Castoreno. Keep it all the same. IMDb, if there's anyone looking for what work I've done, I'm on there as well. And yeah, and I'm here local to Atlanta. Nice.
Well, thank you for joining us this morning, Nicole. I know you have a tight schedule and stuff, and wish you all the luck.
Thank you. You guys too. You on the podcast, and you in your acting career as well.
Yes, thank you, Nicole.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you, Nicole. Yeah.
Well, guys, we're gonna continue our program. We'll be right back because your boy has to go to the bathroom.
Hey, you made it this far? Well, you might as well subscribe. Come on, you know you want to.
I think all that talk of wine and stuff maybe had to go or something. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, there's no real way to like ever say that, hey, I made it, because even when you've gotten like to a point where you think you are, where you got all these mansions and stuff like that, and and everything. It's just you could like one big mistake could make it all go like awry. It could all be gone. Because I read like a whole bunch of stuff where these celebrities they made some poor decisions as far as like spending and stuff, and this venture, that venture, and they lost pretty much everything. I mean, they're okay now; they bounced back, but you just gotta, I don't know. It's a constant thing that you're like in the back of your mind. Okay, I need to get to the next project or next thing so I can make some more money. You know, that's why I'd say like, for me at least, like acting, I can't really. I'm not gonna depend on that alone. I mean, I plan to like invest. I think it opens doors to like other things to connect, not like network, like what's in it, like Nicole said, and invest in other things that will make you money. It's not all about being financially stable, true, but it just ensures that you have that type of security.
But I think a good point that she made was about evolving and that you're always looking to improve. That was one point that I enjoyed and agreed with, but also the point of always looking to do more than just like acting, or more than just your main. You have your main, say, like career or passion, but you're multifaceted. There's different layers to you as a person. So you could be an actor or an actress, but you use that platform as a way to be an advocate for something else in the community or improving the world as a whole. So that's one thing I definitely agreed with, that I like that she said as well.
You guys can hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I guess Ronnie B.
Okay. Yeah, I think it also like provides you that freedom of like let's say, hey, always wanted to travel here, whatever. If you're in a certain state where that allows you to do so, then you have that option to do it. Most people say that, yeah, I want to be an activist, I want to do this and stuff, but I got to make money here, I got to do this and that. It's always like something that's kind of anchoring you back, and really, in a way, you're anchoring yourself back, because you could put yourself in a situation where you're making income passively and still pursue your passion and stuff. And it's not just for acting; it's for like any type of real passion. You just kind of fit in time to work on that, in addition to making sure you're financially stable, because it's very easy to get caught in that trap where you're just like constantly just juggling within that small space, and you're just ignoring the passion that you're pursuing, and you're stuck in that sort of thing with keeping your finances up and everything like that. So it's very easy to do that. So you got to make sure you guard against that.
Well, I was wondering how she does it with two kids as well. I know she said, one of her kids is in college now, the other one's in middle school. But it's hard enough trying to get into the industry. So it's like, imagine trying to do that with like two kids. So say if you have she's locally in Atlanta right now. Say if you get a call for an opportunity in California, do you just like get up and leave and tell your children, hey, you've got to go to a different school now? So it's also like, it's dealing with like, which obviously, no child really wants to hear that. So it's like, how do you, like, as an actor or actress, also deal with the fact that, yeah, you may need the flexibility to move here and here and here, which may be easier when it's just you to worry about. But now you have to bring like your kids along with you. If you're married or in a relationship, you have to have a supportive partner who's going to be able to kind of pick up and move. So it's a hard thing to do just by yourself. But yeah, when you're starting to add in children, a partner and this and that, yeah, I think it becomes even more difficult.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think it's, if you do have like a spouse or whatever, then I think there's a conversation that has to be made. Like, there has to be, like, you're right, a support system on the part of the other spouse. That's why a lot of actors marry actors or people that are involved in similar industries, or ones that have flexible industries, because they're able to kind of pick up the slack a little bit, and help support that person in their acting pursuits. Another thing which is non-financial is dealing with the fact that your partner may be away for extended periods of time, maybe traveling overseas, or if not, they may be involved in. And I think this depends on the choice of the actors themselves, to be involved in scenes where you're intimate with another person. That's not your real partner. There's like people, sometimes they have a clause in their contract to be like, no frontal nudity, no back nudity, or I don't want to be in these simulated scenes, sex scenes or whatever, out of respect for my partner. There's one actor who's on one of the DC shows. I think it's Legends of Tomorrow or something. The guy he has white hair, I forgot his name, but he said he has it in his clause that he refuses to do any intimate scenes with women that are not his wife. And sometimes they cost him certain roles, certain opportunities, but he stuck to his guns and said that, hey, I mean, this is something that we discussed and we decided not to go through with it. So I think it comes down to like an individual decision. I don't think it's collectively that, hey, you get a job, you just go with it. That's one thing they stress, like, you don't have to take a job in fear that you'll never get another opportunity. There's plenty of opportunities and opportunities on the horizon for you to obtain if you just stick to yourself, because it's very easy to lose yourself when you become like an actor or a big actor or whatever.
But that was another point that she made that I liked, was that with the mental health aspect of it, it's very easy, and this is really in any industry, it's very easy to get discouraged when you're going through, one audition. Okay, I didn't hear back. Another audition, didn't get that. Another audition, didn't get that. To the point where you say, well, damn, when am I going to get my break? So I feel what she was saying in a way was that you have to have sort of a short memory, to be honest. And every new day presents a new opportunity. Every new audition presents a new opportunity. And in a way, you have to just forget about, past auditions or past parts that you didn't get, and just kind of move on. Like she says, one door closes, another one opens. So I think that's one thing to stay focused on as well, that I like that she said.
Yeah, I agree. Like speaking from personal experience, like I said, I was on I was riding a wave for like a few months and stuff. I was getting roll after roll after roll, and you kind of get a kind of a I don't want to say a big head, but a sort of invincible feeling, like, oh, okay, it's finally happening and stuff, And there's especially in this industry, is no such thing as a sure thing, because right around mid-year it just turned completely around, and I was getting nothing. Like, I wasn't getting commercials, I wasn't getting roles, I wasn't getting even student roles, I was getting nothing. And meanwhile, the finances are still coming in, the bills and all that stuff. And not to mention the fact that, it's not only the finances that affect you, but it's basically the fact that, hey, am I going to make it there? Where you see your friend here getting these roles, your friend there getting these roles, I'm getting booked. Like, that's one thing you got to do if you're in a rut, is to kind of lay off social media, because your actor friends are going to be announcing like crazy that, hey, I got booked for this. Oh, I got booked for that. Hey, I got my agent. Okay, got this, got that. And you're looking at yourself, and it's very easy to compare and contrast, which you shouldn't do, but it's very easy to compare yourself to what this person is doing, and like, well, damn, what's wrong with me? What do I have to do to get where this person is? But you have to realize that your journey is your journey and their journey is their journey. You never know. Like with them, they could be riding a wave right now, and then months down the line, you hear nothing, Like, because people are going to be posting the best times. They're never going to post like the worst times that they're having, So you probably don't know what's going on behind the scenes or whatever. I think me and Matt saw this interesting picture of an iceberg. Everyone always sees the top of the iceberg. They see the fame, the fortune, the adulation, the happiness, all this other stuff. Where on the bottom is a lot bigger, and you see the struggle, the depression, the mental health, the rejection, the financial issues, all that stuff. No one sees that. So I think it's important to put it all in perspective that, yeah, you have to have sort of a short memory, which is a hard thing to ask because we are human, we do remember and stuff, and not carry that same energy into the next audition because it's a new opportunity, it's a new situation. So what happened in the audition before, the one before that, it's irrelevant now. It's done. And you have to like keep going forward.
Yeah, no, really. I mean, that's what I got from what Nicole was saying is you, in a way, you just got to be, I call the 2 R's, resilient and relentless. I mean, you just got to keep getting at it every day after day after day after day. And it kind of based on what you were saying, it kind of, to me, I took, what I took from it was, if you're currently in a rut, then what can you do while you're in that rut? So, based on what you said, I thought, okay, maybe you could do some classes that maybe you can find some free classes, maybe you can find some cheaper, classes, some acting classes, some skills you could work on. Or one thing I wanted to ask you, I didn't get a chance to, is, okay, you're in the process of looking for an agent. Okay, what does that process entail? Or, hey, you have a friend who got booked on this movie, this show, this production. Okay, what are the steps you took to land that, or did it just fall in your lap? So for me, that's kind of like how I looked at it, was, okay, let me see if I could pick this person's brain, while I'm in that rut, so that I'm still doing something and still keeping my passion. Because, yeah, like you said, beginning of the year you had certain opportunities going on, so you're just, it's like momentum. You're just keeping it going. You're just riding the wave, and then all of a sudden, it comes to a halt, and now you're like, okay, now I feel like I'm stagnant and I'm not making any progress, which is a crappy feeling to have. But based on what I felt she was saying was that I guess there's always something you could be working on, and you always could be evolving, even if you're not currently on a project right now. Maybe there's still some things that can be done to sharpen your skills or learn a new skill, or some sort of networking event that can be attended. You just never know.
Yeah, and for me, like, and sometimes you need to just step away from the film industry for a little bit, to step back. Not that you're giving up, but basically take a step back, because maybe you just, because I heard something interesting when I did one background role. I was talking to this girl who's doing stand-in work with me, and I was like, saying, how you been? I've been on this project, that project. And then she basically expressed the fact that, I think that every actor just talks about what they're doing in acting. I'm just like, we do anything else. And it was a good point, because yeah, you're excited about, doing acting, all this stuff. You're excited about the projects you want to do, the projects you have yet to be in, but it gets to a point where that's all you're talking about, and you've devoted everything to this, which, if it's your passion, then yeah, people are going to do that. But you also, especially as an actor, have to be well-rounded and engage in other interests. And I was saying to myself, you know what, you're right. Because I used to dabble in this and that, cosplay, all this other stuff, and I have a lot more going on for me than just this acting. So, and it really resonated with me. And I was like, while I was in this rut and stuff, I was like, just talking. I was talk with you guys. I would talk with other people. And then when I would listen to things about self-improvement and stuff, and Matt mentioned his thing about, going to a seer or something, or a prophet, saying that we would start this podcast, I was like, and then Ron brought it up, and I sort of said, hey, let's manifest this thing, just to start doing this podcast. And it's provided me an outlet to express myself in a different form, that's not scripted, but in a way it's helping me kind of sharpen my skills as maybe like a host, maybe running a show and everything will, you never know, would help you down the line when you do go back to being an actor and stuff. Maybe it'll help you, Matt, with being more conversational, learning a lot more about people and stuff when you become a doctor and stuff. Ron, I don't know, maybe help you be a little more diplomatic with the people you're beating down with the nightstick. I don't know, but it does
Wow.
help.
What? What?
Get on the ground.
Wow. Oh, shit.
But yeah, like I think it does, like everything constructive you do, I think will have its use. It does aid in what you're going to pursue ultimately. So it's a good thing to be well-rounded, to have several different interests and stuff, to try everything. Because you never know where it's going to land you, what it's going to use. It's like you're basically as good as the tools you possess. It's a handyman's motto.
I just I don't know. Are you going to be a Steve Harvey host or a
Hell no
Dr. Phil host?
I'm not going to be no Steve Harvey. No.
Dr. Phil?
Oh.
Cringe.
Are you gonna do a doctor? Are you gonna be a Dr. Phil
Hell
TV
to
host?
the no. Look, I say at the beginning of every show that not Dr. Phil, not Oprah, and definitely not Steve Harvey. Respect to Steve Harvey, but his old show, there was way too much pandering going on, man. I just don't get that, man. I'm not with it. I'm not with it. You're like, you're painting guys to be a certain way, and turning guys into, you're doing. I mean, stop putting it all on the guys. Everybody has to be accountable. But we're pulling away from our subject, all right? Because we could go on and on about that.
Sorry.
We go on and on about that.
Well, I mean, that's an actor. He was an actor. Remember, he had his own show.
Well, he still is in a way. I mean, you're an actor. You're an actor. I mean,
yeah. That's true. You don't really like switch careers out of that, once you did something.
Yeah, because he could have this show where he's like, yeah, men should do this, that, and that. And once the cameras turn off, it's like, man, that's some bullshit, man. But hey, I mean, because as an actor, you have to also be a business person too. You basically, not that you're like some sort of, I don't know, money grubbing worm or something, but you go where the opportunities are and stuff. If you're to make money and stuff, and it doesn't really go against your values and stuff like that, why not go for it? I could do a little bit of pandering, say like, yeah, women, you're right, women. Like, men need to do all that stuff, and you guys are okay the way you are, man. Just do whatever you want to do, because the audience, your main audience is gonna be women, so you're not gonna say like, well, yeah, but women need to be doing that. They need to get their shit together. Then people gonna be turning off. They're gonna be turning off. You're gonna lose ratings. So they don't want somebody who's gonna do that. They don't. So if Steve Harvey could step up and say what he needs to say and make that paper, kudos to him. But this platform's a passion project. All right, we're real. It's straight up.
Passing the money.
No, we're not passing on the money. As by the way,
no,
we didn't mention
passion to money. Passion to money.
Passion, which a byproduct would be a little bit of cha-ching, But oh, where's the sound? Where's the sound? A little bit of that. But yeah, we don't mind the donations and stuff to help us make the program better, But it is a passion project. I do care about this podcast a lot, and I hope you guys too. That'd be nice. But yeah, like I hope you guys learned about the film industry a little bit. Ron, I think you did some security on some
On some of the
projects.
acting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did a couple details with the certain movie details. I actually liked it. You know, shout outs to the crew, the crews and the cooks. Yeah, the cooks there. So
Oh hell yeah.
yeah, like like the greatest, because maybe I'd have to like block off a street or like set up this perimeter where nobody can come down the street or keep everybody away. Even the pedestrians got to like stop and hey, you can't come through this block right now or whatever. Most of the pedestrians kind of let through because they're kind of like sometimes they B-roll, they're B-rolling and they don't really mess up anything. They know to go across the street if anything because they'll see the whole production. But the cars, people in cars are a-holes and they don't care. They just want to go through. They don't care about the production. So yeah, like so it was kind of cool. Like, hey, can't come through as a movie shoot. Got to go this way. And then you do meet some pretty cool actors. Some of them will come up to you and be like, "Hey, how you doing?" Blah blah blah. But I really enjoyed actually the food, man. Them cooks.
Oh yeah.
Those cooks, like especially when Matt, you have no idea. Like
oh yeah.
When it's time for them to like shut down and take their lunch breaks, like some of the crew, the movie crews do have like chefs.
Crafty.
Yeah, they got the chefs. So, especially if it's like a morning shoot, like they're in there cooking omelets like real quick. See, Matt, Geno's.
Man,
like,
I'm telling you, I can't tell you how many times I went shopping on set. Like, I think it was The Resident, and they, in the background circles, they were famous for their tremendous abundance of food. And you go in there, they usually start in the morning. So you go in there and they got breakfast waiting for you. This is before COVID. They had pancakes, they had grits, they had bacon, muffins, bagels, waffles, all that good stuff. Hash browns, sausage, oatmeal. They had it all. Fruit. And you just go there in a little buffet and you just. And it's one of the few sets that allowed you to share food with the crew. And lunch, they had everything, salads, they had mac and cheese, they had kick-ass mac and cheese. I went up for seconds and took it home. And they
didn't they have like steak and lobster or something like that?
No, that's
a Marvel set on in Fayetteville. I think it's Triller Studios now. They do that.
They give lobster?
They had steak and lobster.
Get out of here, man. That's too much.
They had
Come on
lobster for everybody. They had lobster tails, with the shell open and everything, and they had steak, and they had some sort of pasta also. You could put anything on. You could put Alfredo. You could put sauce, tomato sauce. You could put all sorts of things.
There it is.
And they expect you to work after that.
I know, right? You're like,
I'm giving you.
You're like
exactly
going on the set and everything, especially the time I was on set. I was a featured role on Suicide Squad. I was one of the mercenaries, and it was only 15 of us. So the smaller, one thing you'll learn if you do background, the smaller the amount of people there, but if it's not a cattle call, you'll more than likely have access to the crew food, which is the good food. All right, the unionized food. When you're non-union, you usually get table scraps. You get maybe a Starburst or something and all sorts of unhealthy snacks and stuff. You don't get the good healthy food. But if you're lucky enough to be on a smaller set of people, like a featured role or a stand-in role, you're basically part of the crew, so you always get the good food. But if you're like a small featured role and stuff, sometimes the production be nice and you'll have access to the good food. But usually it's stuff that's being catered. They call a catering company, in addition to the crafty. Guess so they're two different entities. You know, you have the catering and you have the crafty. The crafty is usually the little snacks like little candy bars and chips and all that stuff. You know, just stuff to like preoccupy you. Sodas, drinks, water, all that stuff. The catering are full-blown meals, and they usually handle the lunch and the breakfast and all that stuff. That was the first thing I discovered when I started this whole thing. My first background role, I was done with my little action, and I went to the hallway, and there was a whole table full of snacks and stuff. And I said, "Can we only take a certain amount?" I was like, "No, take as much as you want." I was like, "Oh." So I took a couple of Slim Jim, some honey buns and chips and stuff. I mean, I was coming home. I was like, "Oh yeah, look at all this stuff! Look at all this stuff!" There were times
I got dinner.
there were times that I would be on set so much that I didn't even bother going to the supermarket. Maybe here and there, but that's about it. Because think about it: you're going to a job which feeds you, right? You're there all day. They feed you. All you gotta do is show up, pretty much. So why even buy breakfast? You know?
No, you're right.
True.
You're right. That's one thing I will give them. Like when they were like, "Hey, you guys want to eat?" or okay, we're shutting down for like 2 hours so the crew can eat, and they'll like come and get us, and you know the chef will be there. What do you guys want? Everybody's like, "Oh, an omelet or pancakes and the stuff like that, or water." You know, just grab it. And I will say the only thing I did hate was when it would take for a little longer than like normal, because sometimes they're waiting for the weather to change. You know, New York weather is crazy, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll be. Oh, you know, it's supposed to end at this time," and they're like, "Nah, we're gonna have to keep it going. You know, the weather's about to pass, and you're out there for another like 2 hours or whatever." And just waiting for this one shot. I do remember that.
Rain delay.
Yeah, the rain delays.
So the thing is with the rain delay, especially down here in the South, they have, if they see like lightning, you know, they see lightning has been spotted over this area, like nearby, we have to actually take shelter for about 30 minutes and wait it out. But for every lightning strike, they add 30 minutes. So rare occasion, if it gets to be too much, if it's coming our direction, then they had to shut down. Yeah. So that's why I said like 97% of being an actor is learning how to wait and sit around. And maybe the other 3% is actual acting. But the good thing about the waiting is the food. Like a lot of actors will tell you that, you know, you got a PA, you got your own personal PA, you know, the PA says like, "Oh, we're going to be kind of a long time. Is there anything you want from Crafty or something like that?" And they'll make it happen. Yeah, I want those that, what's the daily snack? Daily snack could be like a sandwich or something like that. Like, give me some of that, you know, hot food. Give me 2 of those. And you're just sitting in there in your trailer, you know, doing God knows what. You could be looking over sides. You could be playing games, playing with your Switch or playing with yourself. I don't know, doing whatever. So you could be doing all that stuff. I mean, it's nothing but perks. Like if you know how to wait, if you got patience like that, you're golden. But you have to know, you have to let you know, and this is where it goes for background actors. You have to let your PA know where you're at all times. Like you can't just like, if you have to go to the bathroom, let's say, you can't just pop out your trailer and be like, "I'm just gonna go over there," and then your PA comes back like, "Oh, where is he? Oh shit!" You know, because they will panic very easily. Very easily.
I mean,
in place, if things aren't in place, like on all fronts, panic ensues.
I can believe that, because I mean, it's all about the timing and the money. So
right,
if you disappear, then you just stop the whole production. And then they gotta wait for you, and then something else, and you know everything's on the time schedule.
Like I was filming on Black Panther 2, and there were people who were there beginning of the day, but then for some odd reason decided to leave because they didn't like the fact they had to wait. I'm like, bruh, because they said they scheduled such and such in anticipation of leaving or whatever. That's the whole thing. Things are unpredictable on set. You could be there for a full 8 hours. You could be there for 12 hours. You could be there for 3. So you don't know when your time will be done or when they don't need you. It all depends on when they need or if they need you. That's what it is, you know, because you could be on the same set, been there for 3 hours, and then if you think, you know, that, hey, I'm on the same set, I'm gonna be here for 3 hours, then you end up being there for 10 or 12, 15. There should be no surprise there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically how it goes.
You think you're willing to travel for work? You willing to do like LA?
If they pay my airfare and lodging, I'm all for it. Let's go. Some productions will do that. You know, I've applied to productions. They say like, yeah, it's being shot in LA or Texas. Production will pay for lodging, travel, and your salary, and the food.
There you go.
Yeah, they make enough money.
Oh yeah, they make tons of money on especially with the theaters. That's why they're so adamant about getting people back into the theaters, because that's a crap load of money for them.
Oh,
you know,
man, them tickets are like $100 like the I'm not gonna say the cheapest.
We're not even talking about IMAX. We're talking about regular ass movie tickets in New York.
Yeah,
they're like what, almost $20 now.
Like Lion King was like almost 200, 300. Yeah, Lion King was
what?
That's
Oh, you're talking
about a Broadway play?
Yeah, Broadway play.
Okay, no, I'm talking about like movie theater, not theater.
Oh, movie. Oh yeah, movie theater. Movie theaters that's like, you know, what is it now? I think to go to a movie is like damn near $30.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't including your whatever food and drinks you get in.
But a movie doesn't make a lot of money off of the actual movie itself. They make most of their money on concession.
The theater?
Yeah, the movie theater makes maybe 1% of movie earnings, and most of their percentage goes toward the food.
Yeah. Yes, I've heard that before. You know, I mean, it's been a while. Like the movie theaters is definitely. I mean, I kept like before COVID. I remember the movie theaters was like, it was crazy, and I can only imagine right now, like probably how many seats you could get. You probably can run around the whole theater and nobody be there. You know.
I mean, I for one prefer looking at the movie at home, but go ahead.
I don't know. I like both. I miss the movies because you got that theater sound. You got that big screen. You know to silence your phone. It's like guidelines that you need, and then to watch it. And then when you're at home, you probably got, you know, you're scrolling. You could play it on Instagram. You could go back, fast forward, rewind. Somebody's yelling in the background, or somebody's yelling, you know, across the room. Yeah, I prefer the movies because it's just like you focus on that thing, you know, that movie.
Yo,
what'd you do, Frobes?
What?
No, when you said about the people yelling in the theater, you know, depending on the scene, or depending on the theater you go to, you hear people, yo, look out, oh shoot, you know, yeah, you don't have to worry about that when you're watching.
People want to be part of the show. Yeah. That's
like I do remember that. I remember being in I think me and you went to that same movie theater in the city, Times Square, and this was when Planet of the Apes came out. And when I tell you, I don't know, I must have had the ghetto crew with me this time, like not with me, but in the background.
Yeah,
and they was like they had liquor in the movie theater. I know they had liquor because you could just smell the liquor, and then like they was like going crazy. I think when Caesar talked and everything was going crazy, they were like, yeah, oh, they were acting up, they were going crazy in it. I was like, these people are wild. I'm just like trying to enjoy this movie. And you got,
I mean, I worked at the movie theater, man. Like, and you'd be surprised what you find once the movie's over when you're cleaning and stuff. You know, I've seen liquor bottles, beer bottles, condoms, and all that stuff. Oh yeah, people be getting, you know, they be getting down. They be getting down in the theater. I think one of my coworkers said they walked in when the credits were rolling and they saw in the background this girl just hopping on. It's an empty theater. It's just them two, and they were just going at it. And I'm like, oh god.
Gotta get their rocks.
Not to mention when you have to check the theaters mid-movie to see if everything's all right and stuff. And it's really to check if people are like shooting the bootleg movies and stuff. But it's you have to check the theaters. And he said, yeah, he saw a whole bunch of people just like this girl just riding somebody. It's just them two, right? I'm like, wow. That's why I always brought a beach towel with me if I went to certain theaters, you know, especially in the back. Ugh, gross.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Like, you know? I couldn't even. That's one place I don't think I.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't miss. Like, you put a black light against the seat, and you're like,
it's like worse than somebody's bedroom.
Oh my god. Oh, I remember I was with one girl. I was like, I'm not sitting on that seat. She's like, oh, that's just a soda stain.
Stop the cap.
You know what that is.
Well, you know what it is. She probably didn't know what it is. I'm saying,
yeah, I know what it is. I worked there. You know, don't tell me what's in there. What's on that seat? Nasty.
Yeah, I can't be with that. I mean, I never even thought about it until you said it today.
Yeah. So, like, as far as missing the theater, it depends on the theater. Like, I do miss the IMAX theater. That was an experience, you know.
Yeah.
And that was the more high-priced one. And you know, if you're going to an IMAX theater and you're paying that much, you're gonna shut the fuck up, right? You ain't saying nothing. They had those nice leather seats. Couch, you recline up. Like, Ron, you remember, Ron, we watched Jurassic Park? We were all reclined like this. You got the big cup holders there with the slushy and the nachos. Yeah. And, you know, you're watching the movie and stuff. Oh, man, that was great. I like that experience. But regular theater, I could pass. All right? I'm talking in terms of the regular theater, I'll pass. Spend enough time. I mean, if down the line they're still in existence and I have my kid and everything, like, let's go see The Lion King 40. And like, all right, whatever. Then we'll go.
Matt, what you got, Matt? What's your experiences with the movie theaters?
You guys, I mean, to be honest, I'm probably gonna be going to the movie theater in a couple weeks to see that new Spider-Man movie that's gonna be coming out. You
got your tickets off of eBay?
No, I didn't get it.
2,500. No.
The theater I go to, that actual theater is more of a like elderly population. So when you go to like a later showing, there aren't many people there. Even on the first day the movie comes out, it's never super crowded. So, you know, I have to go to. I specifically choose this theater because it's more of an elderly crowd, and there are less ghetto people living up there as well, and it's a little bit more of a pricier theater. So if you compare that to the theater in the hood, your experience is going to be quite different.
I mean, if you see some teeth missing, if you see some teeth on the floor, you know Granny was getting down back there, bro.
Oh.
Well, when I go to the theater in the hood, you know, the slushy machine isn't working. Like, you know, there's always something wrong. But when I go to the theater in the nice areas, oh, they got the brand new slushy machines and the leather seats, and you know, it's well lit, and so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to this more expensive theater.
Yeah.
But if I had a movie theater in my house, then that'd be a different story.
Yeah, it's definitely a different story. I do remember there was a Clint Eastwood movie, and you saw a lot of elderly people going in there. And I kid you not, there was a busted open box of Viagra in there.
No.
And I was like, no, Grandma, no.
Oh man.
I imagine her taking her dentures out.
Oh God. So and
Get ready. 1939. Let's bring it back, baby.
oh no.
No.
Somebody was getting ready. They said after this 4 hours, you better be ready for the next 4.
You brought the A in AARP.
Yo, speaking of that, and I'm sorry to switch subject. They were just saying, I was listening to a Spanish station yesterday, and they were saying that Viagra is supposed to help with Alzheimer's.
Well,
I haven't heard that one yet.
All time. So what? You're gonna have people like, oh yeah, I remember. Whoa, I remember this.
That's what I was saying. Like I don't get that one.
Like they need an excuse to get a Viagra. You
Right,
know, it's
like-
running rampant in the old folks' home. That's the highest rate of STDs.
No way.
Yeah, that's statistically
Oh,
true. The
gosh.
highest rate of STDs are not young people and not young adults. It's older people. Because think about it. They have all that time.
What is the
on their hands.
Bronx?
Viagra is covered by Medicare. Yeah. Grandpa's getting down on Granny. You know?
Man,
Whole
they
lot of
got
this
nothing else
going
better
on.
to do. It's over. Hit the button on them.
You know?
Hit the button on these people. Hit the button on Grim. Yeah.
Or
Amy.
oh god.
You know, they're not in that room playing bingo. They definitely
Oh no. They're playing a little bit of
Yeah. Back in my day, I was a stud.
No. No.
I
I
don't
don't want to
even
hear
wanna
about
know.
that. Keep back in the day, okay?
I can just imagine
No.
the doctor's stories
No.
when they coming in. Like I don't even think they probably don't even go to the ER, but the clinic, and they're like, "So, Mr. Johnson, what are you here for?" Like, well, hanging out with Maddie Sue, and feel a little itchy.
She don't keep it clean.
Now I thought it was my pills, but I took all of them, and I still feel funny. Just some shit like that. I
Well,
definitely.
this is take a turn for the worse.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Let's get back to the topic.
we talk about acting. Hey, went on to freaking Granny getting down. Oh, these are things that has gonna experience as a doctor, you know.
Oh yeah.
A little.
If you ever, I mean, I know it's
I'm
like,
not ready to be another great granddaddy.
yeah. Oh shit! Can you imagine? That's crazy.
Ugh.
That'd be crazy. I don't even want to think about that stuff. Matt, if you ever get any of those stories, I mean, make sure they sign the sign off on getting on the podcast. Get some of the old people up.
No,
I got a few stories that may have to be for our medical or health related episode.
Save it for that.
Yeah.
This
Save it
has
for
gone
those.
off the hinge. It's gone off the rails.
let's get back to the acting,
Yeah.
the
Well,
movies.
I really have nothing else to. I think everything's been shared, unless you guys have some other questions about the thing. We didn't touch upon the Alec Baldwin thing real quick, but yeah, with the props and stuff, like we definitely every precaution has to be made, you know, as far as like taking props out and stuff. And even with the fake ones, we were told like to point at the ground, you know, just don't point at anybody, don't play around with it, or you'll have that taken away and it'll be kicked off set, pretty much, you know. So that's just a thing. And even with the security, you know, it was all around and they were watching also, you know. But Yeah, I mean, as far as like the security, they were cool guys. Like they had some people, like there are a lot of people down here that are opposed to Hollywood coming down here and sort of like disrupting things and everything, especially like places like East Point, the hood and everything. I saw one guy just like cursing out one of the PAs, like told him to kind of be quiet because he was talking while we were shooting. He was like, "Man, fuck you!" Told me to be quiet. This is my town. Y'all need to go back to California with that bullshit. No.
Oh God. Like
Yeah.
it's like it should be warning letters like put in everybody's mailboxes like during the hours of this and this, please do not come outside.
Well, the problem is like they couldn't legally keep people from crossing over because we went to some neighborhoods, and the thing is, I think the production, I guess, pays the mortgage for the house for the month and stuff, and so they could set up and everything. But I think truthfully they can't block people from their homes and everything. So, but they can tell them, you got to keep it down. I mean, just do it out of consideration. Like if people are shooting in your town, they may not like it and stuff, but hey, they're not there for long. Just kind of keep it down, and then you could go back to doing whatever you want to do. So.
Yeah. Just thinking about that, I'm like, I never did a Law and Order shoot. Never got on.
Yeah, I never heard about that. If you did,
like, I never get into that one. I never did the Law and Order. I never really seen them ever shooting anywhere. I mean, as much as, what is it, like 30 years in, I never seen them out in the street. The only place I can tell you where they are, but I don't never see them any type of place, out there. I never see it.
Are you trying to be on the show or something? What's going on?
I mean, I want to see, back in the day, I wanted to see like Stabler and all of them.
I gotcha. I think what's the name? Benson's still on.
Benson, yeah. Now they both got their own show. They're like doing. One got organized crime, and the other one got like
they got
SVU
spin-off.
still.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they did a spin-off
for a while. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, they got their shows. But and I was watching Chicago PD. I don't know if you ever seen that show. And I was just interesting that they shoot 90% wintertime, like all winter, and then they got the summer off. And I'm like, I would hate to be on that show. I would hate to be acting all winter, like freezing cold.
Yeah.
Just I don't know. I can't imagine. I don't
have to imagine. I don't have to imagine. You don't have to imagine.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't want to have to remind you. I was out there the Tomorrow War and everything. We're supposed to be zapped up in the air and stuff. Just imagine there's a portal up there. It's kind of hard to imagine when I'm freezing my nuts off in a polo shirt in the dead of winter. The one thing you notice, they tend to shoot summer scenes in the winter and winter scenes in the summer. So it's always the most inappropriate. Where like in the summer, deep heat, 90-something degrees on a set of Stargirl or whatever, I had to wear a damn sweater.
I can't believe that. That's crazy.
So that's all for the effect. I'm like, can't we do this in the studio? I'm like, nah, man, you gotta do it outside. Oh God.
It seems like a lot of studios is actually shooting outside more. You don't really see that many inside of studios unless it's like a real big movie. Like most of the stuff is just like outside. I mean, I know the Marvel ones I'm seeing are like they're more studio.
They have the money. They have green screen.
Yeah, they got the money. Right, the green screen, all that. But I don't see like everybody else is like more. We're gonna shoot in this. We shooting outside. We get this block. We're gonna shoot here. We'll get a little bit of house. We'll shoot here, and then that's it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could go on and on about how did the green screen, the studios, and all that stuff, but we're gonna end it right here. Pretty sure we'll come back to this and stuff. Once again, wanted to thank Nicole. We were supposed to have another guest, but he had to cancel last minute. He had a pilot to shoot. To be honest, that's the way to film industry goes. It's very spontaneous, there's a lot of last minute things, like, so it's sort of hard to prepare for certainty around the schedule. But anyway, guys, tell us where they can find you on the social medias.
Yeah, you guys can find me, Str8up podcast, and Str8up Instagram page.
He's getting a social media soon, guys.
Posted a couple IG lives last weekend. My trips to Boston and Maine. So make sure you guys go on there and check it out.
Yeah, he'll get a page sooner or later.
Like I look back at old episodes, I'm like, we're still talking about this like 3 months in. Like, wow.
Well, I got the IG lives up on the.
You need your own IG. Period. Okay. Probes.
I got you. It's coming.
Anyway.
Sorry, you still got love, man. You still got the Str8up podcast page. Keep doing your thing on there. That's what I appreciate. And of course, you can catch me on Instagram, TSR Photos, YouTube, TSR Reviews. TSR. Yeah, that's it.
All right, and of course, you can check me out, my actor page. If you want to know about my acting, you can check out Nicole's information is going to be in the description, or you can just, if you're listening audibly, you can roll back and check it out. But Garnett.Galloway on Instagram. My cosplay page, Genetics Cosplay, GNETIXKOSUPRE. My Twitch page, gaming, Gimme Games, G1MMEGAMEZ. Looks like a stop sign. That's how you know you found the right one. Yeah, and also we didn't say it before. Be press arts. If you want to be a loyal Ishite, you send your financial support. It's going to be in the description. Join the Ishite Army. Even $1 helps. Goes a long way. You get exclusive. We'll be coming up with more exclusive content, more behind the scenes, more pre-show stuff. We're gonna do a lot more audio entries, not just these episodes. We'll have more stuff we can't really post on YouTube. We're gonna be working on that. But thank you guys for watching. We love your support and everything. Yeah, and that's it. To stay up, whatever passion you're pursuing, just stay with it despite what challenges may become. Challenges make us stronger, and that's it. Just keep grinding. All right, peace.
This
has been the Str8up podcast. We're on Google, Apple, and Spotify, and everywhere you listen to your podcasts. New episodes every week, so don't forget to subscribe.